Yeah.
Right, boom. Yes, then, the people. So, we're here in Ireland in unprecedented times. We're doing more unprecedented stuff. Russia invaded Ukraine, and now I'm auditing in Ireland. So this is going to be Mountjoy Police Station in the Republic of Ireland. I had to do a bit of research, obviously, regarding what legislation Garda may try and use to obtain details. So essentially, it pretty much boils down to the Irish equivalent of the Public Order Act. A lot of it is pretty similar to the UK legislation we've got. So, in particular, they've got sections 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 19 of the Public Order Act in Ireland. I think section 4 is being drunk in a public place. Section 5 is exhibiting disorderly conduct.
All right, guys, listen up. We're in Ireland, in what can only be described as unprecedented times. War in Europe, tension everywhere, and now the camera turns toward Mountjoy Garda Station in Dublin. This isn't random. This is prepared. Research done. Legislation studied. Public order laws examined section by section. The Garda have powers, yes, but so do the people. Constitutional rights exist here. Peaceful assembly, public presence, lawful observation. This is not confrontation. This is awareness. The tone is calm, but the intent is serious. This is about understanding the law before the law tries to understand you.
Section 6 was using like threatening behaviour, insulting language. Section 7 is like displaying material that could be used to offend someone. Section 8 is used if any of the other sections are contravened, and thus they can give you a directive, or like they can ask you to desist. So these are just some brief notes, but look. So section 8, desist from acting in such a manner and leave the vicinity of the place concerned. So essentially, if you like violate any of the other sections, then they can give you a lawful order to leave. And section 19 is obstructing or willfully obstructing an officer or assaulting a peace officer, is what they call them. So if the Garda believe that I've violated any one of these sections, then they've got this section 24, power of arrest without warrant. So essentially, they can demand, that's the key word, demand details from me, and if I don't give them, then they've got this section 24 power, again, under the Criminal Justice Act, otherwise known as the Public Order Act 1994. So, obviously, Ireland has a constitution, the UK does not. So, under Article 46, subsection 6.1 of the Irish Constitution, you have a right to peaceful assembly and a constitutional right to, kind of gather in a public place and do whatever you need to do. So, yeah, that's the latest. Let's see how this one goes. So, yeah. All right, so just back on this phone now. I think this is the back of the Garda Station. This appears to be a prison. You see, it's heavily really boarded up and whatnot. So yeah, naturally, just gonna have a little wander around, man. Just a little wander around. So yeah, again, this section 24, power of arrest. That looks likely to be the most sort of viable kind of option the Garda are probably going to have to force arrest in the absence of any details. So that's an obstacle we're going to have to overcome. In terms of terrorism legislation, I think that comes under Criminal Justice Act 2005. I think it was revised in October 2020. The defence solicitor that I consulted doesn't seem to think that there will be much in way of sort of terrorism option. Alright, so we've got a car there. So yeah, I don't know. We didn't really look into any sort of. We didn't look into any sort of terrorism legislation, just the public order sort of stuff. There was one thing that I looked at. So it's actually an offence not to give PIN code to your phone to the Garda if they ask for it. So if they reasonably suspect that the phone is used in the commission of an offence, then you must provide them with the PIN code. So yeah. Anyway, This appears to be the inside of the station. It looks pretty empty. The solicitor guy said that most Garda stations are pretty empty. This is what their crescent thing. What do you call that thing? You know what I mean. That's what that looks like. Anyway.
Now pay attention, because this is where reality sets in. The back of the station looks more like a prison than a public building. Boarded up, silent, intimidating. Section 24 powers loom in the background. The ability to arrest without warrant if details aren't given. That's the obstacle. Terror legislation? Considered, dismissed, unlikely. Even phone access laws come into play. Hand over your PIN or face consequences. This isn't paranoia. This is preparation. The station feels empty, quiet, almost watching. And then it happens. The first Garda vehicle exits. The audit is no longer theoretical. It's live. All right, guys, here comes a moment everyone waits for. Contact. Questions are asked. Names requested. Motives challenged. Why are you filming? What's the public interest? The answers stay simple, controlled, lawful. Public space, public curiosity, public accountability. No aggression, no submission either. The Garda checks, listens, processes. Calls came in, concerns were raised, but the response stays measured. No threats, no forced compliance. And that matters. This is unfamiliar ground for Irish policing, and you can feel it. Still, the interaction holds. Calm beats chaos every single time.
Enough of me talking. I'll pick this back up when there's some shit going on. Right, this is the first vehicle we have leaving the Garda station. Very first won't be the last, but it looks like they're stopping. You okay? I'm just filming. Is this public? It's not public. You sure? I'm sure that this is public. Hello. Good, thank you.
What's your name, sir?
Excuse me?
What's your name, sir?
Am I required to give a name?
Well, I'm just interested to know why you're recording footage outside the police station.
Yeah, I'm just making a video.
What?
Matters of public interest.
Okay, and what is the public interest in this occasion?
The public are interested.
What is the public interest?
They're just interested in like police stations, police, stuff like that.
Are they interested in reg plates of cars? Is that why you seem to have pointed your camera at the vehicle in there just to see who's in the vehicle and then...
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
I don't have any interest in any reg.
Okay, so what's the public interest in police stations?
People like watching this sort of thing.
Who likes watching the back of the police station?
Would you mind identifying?
Sorry?
Would you mind identifying yourself?
Oh yeah, there you go. Okay, would you mind identifying yourself? No?
Not at this moment.
Okay. Very good. No, I was just coming out to see what's...
Is that okay? There's no issues?
No, I was just wondering what you were doing, because it's actually I got a call from people who are worried inside saying
Okay.
Recording people going into prison as well.
Alright. No, I'm just filming for public. As far as I'm aware, there aren't any...
This is the wrap, and it's important. Credit where it's due. The Garda handled this professionally. No legislation was thrown around. No pressure applied. In a country where auditing is virtually unheard of, this interaction set a precedent. Learning is happening in real time on both sides of the camera. This isn't about winning. It's about understanding. Growth comes from repetition, from mistakes, from staying lawful and consistent. Ireland is new territory, and it will take time. So, all right, guys, that's Mountjoy Garda Station. On to the next one. Stay sharp. Stay informed. Peace. Victory hand hash.
Rules to stop members of the
As I
public
said,
filming.
I just came out to see what the story was, just to see who you were and what was going on. But there's no issue with you being here. You can record all you want. Like, it's just more just it's a bit. I've never seen anyone standing here with a camera for whatever length of time. They said you've been here for about 20-25 minutes, so
That's right.
it's not really normal.
Unprecedented, is it?
Well, no, unprecedented. But normally there's a reason for it, as opposed to just saying
There is a reason. There's a reason for everything.
public interest. Though.
So you've never had anyone do this before?
Well, we've had protests in relation to other things, but not just for. I woke up on a Tuesday and decided to come stand outside a Garda Station. Look, each of their own. If that's what you want to do. Fair play to you.
All right,
Okay.
thank you. You too. Okay, I'm very impressed. Very impressed with the interaction from that officer, given the fact that, this is completely unmarked territory, so to speak. No one has ever done this before in Ireland, so despite that, I've got to give credit to that officer. Are they called officers in Ireland? I don't know, but fair play to him. Didn't really press too much. Obviously, naturally, he's going to ask for the name, but given the fact that they've had no prior experience with anyone auditing, I thought he handled it pretty well. Didn't push too much. Didn't quote any legislation. So far so good. That's Mountjoy police station in Dublin, in Ireland. So might set up shop a little bit longer, and we'll go to the next one. We get a little shot. Don't forget to go to join the Telegram, Coney Coin. I'm just going to get a shot of one of the vehicles leaving, so you guys have an idea. They've got Hyundai vehicles, it seems. It's going to be a bit funny, but that's probably going to conclude that, at least for now. Learning, constantly learning. Again, remember, like when I jumped on this YouTube stuff, I didn't really know anything about no law or no legislation. Like, just through virtue of doing it in the UK, and reading the comments on the videos, I managed to learn quite a lot. That being said, obviously in Ireland, it's completely new, so it's going to take me a while to pick up some things. Obviously, I've learned the kind of bare essentials, so to speak. So we're just going to build on that. So again, bear with me if bear with me if at times it's a bit slow or it's not very cohesive. But on to the next one. Peace.